Oh, I'm not even in the stream. I'm over here talking like a crazy lady, y'all. And I'm not even in the stream. I love you too. I'm sleepy too, mama. But I promised I was going to come on. And my voice is going. I am. Swallowed. I mean, not swallowed. Como se dice? I was sucking on a throat lozenger. Diva, what's up, mama? Hi, guys. I am so sorry. I apologize for that. I thought I was in the stream. I was over here talking my heart away, and you didn't even hear me. Did you guys hear anything I said? Hello, Angie. Hello, Yada Dada. Flawless T, baby. Diva time. What's up, mama? Bev, what's up, baby? What's up, ladies? Yes, I know school starts tomorrow. Always multitasking. I love you, T, baby. Okay, I'm glad you're going to stay, Yada. I am so sorry. Charisse, hello, chula. Flawless baby, I love you, mama. I'm sorry. I was saying to you, I'm sorry that I missed your live earlier. I got caught up, and then I came back home and I started to cook and, fed the family and did some other things and then kind of prepared for the live a little bit, got some information, things I needed. So I'm here for you guys. I know it's late. I wanted to come on earlier, but as I said, I got distracted with life. So, as I was saying that it feels kind of weird with everything that's going on. And I hope everybody mends their wounds, everybody heals, that they can get together and talk things out. And, because we all came here together in the same fight, no matter what. It's just that these YouTube streets are these YouTube streets. And Larry had to fight the way he had to fight so he could protect himself and the ones he loved. And that includes Angelo and Azriel and his whole family, you know, as well as Larry loves all of us. And we've all been there with him. We were all brought into this fight because of him, you know? It all started with Instagram. And we support Angelo. And we support Larry because Larry supports Angelo. And Larry is the one who was really 10 toes into this fight. We were just all supporters to be there, to help out, research, find out information, talk, get to know each other, become friends. A lot of people have developed friendships. I agree with my brother Atmos. It's deep. But I'm not here to dampen the mood, guys. I'm here to know that you guys want to know about some S&M. And I just found out that Rihanna made a song called S&M. I don't even remember hearing the song. Did you guys ever hear of this song? Did you guys ever hear of this song? And who in this chat is into S&M? And do you know what S&M is? Guys, if you are into it, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Gina, Are you into S&M, Gina? Give me a thumbs up. Jenna. I'm sorry, slap me when you see me, okay? Okay. Oh, your team did a song off of it. You danced off of it. I never heard of it. I'm going to hear it for the first time with you guys. I'm going to play it. Uh, Jenna Gems, you're not into much? What? Girl, why you lying now? Girl. This is where we going to let it out. Freedom of speech. Women, do not be scared of sex, okay? We going to talk about things. Can we get freaky in here? Are we entitled to do this? I put up a disclaimer. I put up a warning. Warning, this is going to be graphic, y'all. Be prepared. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay? Okay. You must be 18 or over. I'd rather you be 21, though. So, nobody here has ever had any S&M. Hi, Karen. Nobody except for Diva and me. Guys, really? Karen. Do you guys see this on my screen? It says here, "'Cause I may be bad, but I'm perfectly good at it. Sex in the air. I don't care. I love the smell of it. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but chains and whips excite me." Is anybody in here into some whips and chains? Some handcuffs? Huh, ladies? Come on now. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. You had a whip? Okay. Does anybody have toys? Do you ladies use toys? Oh, you know? Nah, baby, I ain't with all that. Really? Okay, well, you know what? There's a certain extent that people will go when it comes to, yeah, blindfolds. Exactly. I'm going to let you know right now what it is. We're going to read about it right now. Where is. Okay. Okay. So the word is sadomasochism.
Sadomasochism. Sadomasochism.
And this is the derivation of sexual gratification from the infliction of physical pain or humiliation either on another person or on one's self. So let's see. The first known use of sadomasochism was in 1919, y'all. Okay. They was peeing on people back in 1919. They was spanking them with whips and chains way back then, tying them up to the bed. Has anyone ever been tied up? So S&M is a sexual behavior that involves getting pleasure from causing or feeling pain. Now, this is what R. Kelly is accused of doing to some of these girls, right? So, what do you guys think about that? Hi, Missy. Hi, baby. Missy, this is class 101, girl. S&M, girl. We gonna learn today. I don't mind choking. I don't mind pulling my hair. Missy said, Lord have mercy, what's really going on? Not that damn trusting. Well, you have to have a partner that is trusting. You have to really feel comfortable with your partner. Okay, okay. I get it. I get it. I get it. I was abused as well, you know. Um, but when you are in a relationship with someone, like I've been in my relationship for almost 15 years, you know, um, you have to keep the spark. We have to keep the spark. And sometimes you might do things that you wouldn't normally do. Girl, shut up. So now, when you're in a relationship with someone, okay, like I've been in my relationship, like I said, for almost 15 years, you have to create a spark. You know, you can't do it missionary all the time, all day, every day. Like, that's boring. 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 You have to keep your man wanting more. Same as your woman. You have to keep her wanting more. So for women, we like more romance. So if your man is willing to give you romance and shower you and keep you in a pedestal and love and cherish you, why can't I, being his woman, satisfy his sexual gratifications, right? A lot of us don't like getting on our knees, you know? Things were very triggering for me when I started getting into relationships, that the sex at first wasn't pleasurable. But then as time went on and I broke down my walls and put my abuse behind me, I was able to develop relationships with men. You just might, Mommy Karen, you might. Listen, don't be scared. Ask your man. Don't be scared to ask your partner questions. Don't. Do not be scared to ask your partner questions. Hey, babe, by any chance, um, would you like to use a blindfold one day so I can just lay you on the bed and just gently rub my hands and my fingers along your body and then just kiss you from head to toe? And you're blindfolded. Not tied up, you're just blindfolded. Start off small. Show that you trust them and let yourself go. Start off with a blindfold, guys. I'm telling you, it's very, very exciting. It's mysterious. Even though you know the man that's caressing your body and you love the man that you're with that's caressing your body, that's all that matters in that moment. Oh, no, I don't agree with that peeing and doodling and all these other things. I don't agree with that. But some people like it. Some people like it. Some people like it. I personally, nah. The handcuffs, the blindfolds, whips, chains, toys, oils, things like that, choking, spanking, pulling my hair. I don't mind it, but you got to do it right. You got to do it right. Some women like to be thrusted. Some women like to be thrown on the bed, thrown up against the wall, their clothes ripped off their bodies. It's a fantasy. See, baby? First lesson my mom taught me, Diva. Diva time. Whatever you start out doing, you must be willing to keep it up. Exactly. Men need to be pampered and showered. Exactly. So do women. So if he can do it for me, why can't I do it for him? Hi, Michelle, Mama. Welcome, welcome. We are talking about S&M. Michelle, do you like to have spankings or your hair pulled or blindfolds or toys? Anybody in the bushes, you're welcome to join in the chat if you don't be shy. All right. Don't be shy, guys. Don't be shy. It's a good topic, you know? Um, and I think that being that we were talking about S&M the other day, I figured, we can open this because I talked about this once before, but the live was taken down due to YouTube and their, you know, rights. But we're going to do it a little different today. So I'm going to play for you some audio about S&M. Girl, that's why we have fingers. God gave us hands. There's this thing called palmetto. Yeah, mommy, I've been with my man for almost 15 years. How do you think we're making it? Things have been a little bit, I'm not going to lie, on my end, slow. But that's just because I'm going through a lot of emotional things. And I'm just mentally, my mental space just hasn't been in it. Yes, please don't forget, ladies, hit that like button on your way in. Jump out the live, hit the like, and come back. Jump out of the chat, shall I say. So, yeah, we're gonna listen to this, and this should be exciting, and then we'll talk about it. Hopefully, I won't get striked because I did put up a disclaimer, and this is a teaching lesson, and this is a teaching moment. I am playing this video for a teaching moment. This is a resource. I am researching, and we are having an open discussion. See, there you go, Michelle. Exactly. There you go. It's good. It's a good thing. But the man got to do it right. Some women actually like it rough. Like, yeah, pull my hair, daddy. Yeah, harder, harder. You know, it happens. Don't tell me none of you ladies done said that. Don't tell me none of you ladies done said that to your man. Because y'all lying. Don't tell me you've never told your man harder. Don't tell me you've never said to your man, fuck me. You know, let's be real now, ladies. Let's be real now. It's okay to blush. It's okay to blush. I am very, very open with my sexuality. And I'm not shy. And the things that have happened to me have brought me to be the person that I am today. And I did turn into a promiscuous young lady, but that wasn't my fault. But like I said, I had walls, and then I had to learn how to break them down and enjoy sex. I had to learn. I had to learn. I didn't like it. I felt like I had to do it because I had to do it. That's how I felt. I was having sex just to have sex because I had to do it just to please somebody else. I wasn't having fun. I wasn't being pleased. I didn't enjoy it. So I had to eventually break down those barriers to get comfortable with sex. So, are you ladies ready for this audio? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if y'all ready to learn. Take a little lessons and bring some experiments home to your spouses or your lovers, your friends, whatever it is you got going on in your home, whether you're single or not. You ready, guys? You ready? Ready, ready, ready? Thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up. Yeah, exactly, Angie. When they make you say it, they be screaming at you and making you scream all kind of shit you would have never said on your own. You know, like, yes, daddy. Yes, daddy. Yes, daddy. I guess so, diva. Okay, so y'all ready, ladies? Okay, okay. That's cool. Not everybody has to like whips and chains. Some of us will, some of us won't. Like I said, you guys can enjoy this live and learn and bring some ideas home. break the barrier down at your home. Hey, Miss Lady. Miss Lady. Miss Lady. I know you're not a virgin girl. Girl, I know you're not. I bet you're not a saint either. We're going to learn a lot about each other today, ladies. All right, I'm going to play the video. Actually, I'm sorry, the audio. And here we go. Hold on. Let's get into it. Wait, I gotta. Oh no. Okay, yeah. There we go. I'm gonna open it bigger, but not like that. Wait, no, that way. I gotta make it smaller. Shit. Okay. Let's see.
What does it look like? And when we fantasize about sex, and we know that. What does it look like? And when we fantasize about sex, and we know the vast majority of you do, what does that look like? Is it sex you want to have, or is it something else entirely? On one of the biggest porn sites, Pornhub, 3 of the most searched terms are mom, stepmom, and MILF, another flavor of mom. But porn doesn't necessarily reflect our true private fantasies. To find that out, you have to actually ask people.
I surveyed almost 4,200 Americans from all 50 states, people ranging in age from 18 to 87, ranging all different gender identities, sexual orientations, demographic and political backgrounds. And I asked them hundreds of questions.
According to his survey, 97% of American adults have had a sexual fantasy, as in imagined and arousing sexual scenario. 87% have at least one a week, and 52% have at least one a day. And though we might think our fantasies are super weird and unique,
by and large, most people, regardless of gender, are fantasizing about the same things.
So who and what are we fantasizing about? And what do our fantasies say about us?
Ah, Linda, if you were only here to nurse me.
I love to watch people masturbate. I love to see a fan.
These fall into 3 genres. Most of our fantasies fall into 3 genres: having sex with multiple people, sex in places or in ways that we've never done it before, and fantasies about power and control. The first, group sex, like orgies or gangbangs, a type of orgy where a lot of men usually have sex with the same woman. Almost every American adult has fantasized about group sex, and over half of the men said they fantasized about it often. And usually the fantasy involves a specific number of people.
I guess I would just say a threesome. The threesome thing is beautiful. I think it's definitely a threesome, but there's also like grapes involved.
When I looked at the one-word fantasy descriptions that people provided, when they summed up their favorite fantasy of all time in a single word, I took those words and I entered them into a word cloud. And the first time I did this, all it said was threesome, because so many people wrote that threesome was their favorite fantasy of all time. It's a way that people can feel validated and wanted. A lot of people really just want to be the center of attention, and they want multiple people desiring them at the same time. So there's actually a big emotional component.
And while the stereotype might be that young people experiment with group sex, this fantasy is actually more popular with people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s.
A big part of the appeal of threesomes is...
Did you hear that, guys? People in our age group, threesomes and stuff are more popular in our age groups. Isn't that something? And sometimes it's just that a lot of people get bored with their sexual routines.
Just that a lot of people get bored with their sexual routines, and a lot of people are in long-term monogamous relationships. And so a threesome is an easy way of adding some novelty.
And novelty in general is the second major genre of our fantasies.
It's where people are just mixing it up.
In one small study, men viewed the same porn clip over and over, and they got less and less aroused. But then a new porn clip played, and the men's penises got very hard, very fast. A similar study was conducted measuring women's genital arousal with similar results.
I like the secretive aspect of it, or like I've never done this before kind of thing. Like if we're on a plane together and like, oh no, your flight got delayed, why not just come back to my place for the night? I have a spare bed.
Having candle wax stripped on my body, having feathers run across my body. More on the exhibitionist side, I have done sexual things on the Brooklyn Bridge.
The biggest theme that came up in the novelty category was
That lady said she did some stuff on the Brooklyn Bridge. Me too.
like sex.
Some of the favorites: sex in a park, a car, a public bathroom, a locker room, an elevator, and the office.
I think a sexual fantasy for me would be to have my partner like going around with a toy that I could sort of control and modulate at a wedding, like at a business meeting. There's like theoretically some like risk of discovery, so it's kind of like hot in that way.
2/3 of men and women have fantasized about sex toys. Two of the most common ones: blindfolds and handcuffs. Which brings us to the third big fantasy genre: power and control. More than a quarter of people rated this their favorite kind of fantasy.
I just like someone who is aggressive, someone who can really like, yeah, just someone who's aggressive. I would leave it at that. Someone who's aggressive.
I always thought being like tossed around a little bit was always really attractive. Like that scene in Mrs. and Mr. Smith. They're trying to like kill each other, but it's hot.
My favorite thing to do in the world is get into butts. It's definitely a power thing to get into cis boy butts, and I won't apologize for it.
She said she likes to get into boys' butts and she will not apologize for it. Okay.
Like nurses, I don't know, something about nurses, cops. I don't know. You know what I think is? That's something mental, like women in power. That's sexy. That's what it is. Not too much power though, just enough, you know. Don't scare us out of me.
One way to explore power play during sex is through BDSM.
BDSM is bondage and discipline, sadomasochism.
Okay, so now this is the part where they talk about bondage. BDSM, which is bondage, discipline, sadomasochism. Hey, Robin, what's up, baby? Yes, we're having a sex education class today, girl. Yes, she did. She sure did say that. Yes, she did. No one here has ever given head and done how can I say this? Pleasured the back door, you know. Never, ever, never, ever. Okay, so we're gonna listen to what BDSM is.
It's the erotic pleasure that people take in giving pain, enduring pain, giving dominance, giving punishment, enduring punishment, giving humiliation, enduring humiliation, but it's all in the realm of playtime.
BDSM is often associated with fancy props and contraptions made of leather.
I love leather. I think that nowadays people have a view of it things like 50 Shades of Grey and that kind of stuff. It's very sort of a mainstream idea, but actually my version of leather comes from a very queer place.
And that all started in the US in the 1940s, where there was an emerging biker culture. Leather was good protective clothing for men who were into motorcycles, and rugged all-male clubs were good settings for men who were into men. When World War II ended, some gay veterans...
Now, all right, Sharice, that's good. That's good. She said, he'll chop your throat. Girl, the space in between is very important, guys. I'm here to tell you, ladies. It's a spot that makes a man hot. Okay. Just right in between. You know, have you ever had some tea bags in your mouth? This is a good thing too. You know, men love that shit. You know, sloppy head is also a good thing. Men love that as well. The sloppy head for me is when you put things all over, you know, you're all in it and it's just super wet and it's sloppy. It's like a Slurpee in your mouth. You know what I mean? Wepa! Sharice done said it. Ding, 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 ding. You got that shit right, girl. Girl. High five to you, girl. My kind of girl. Diva time. That's right. Okay. T-Baby said, no butts, yo. No butts. I just notified my entanglement that I'm doing some online. This is good. This is good, Angie. Let them know that you will have some new tricks up your sleeve, okay? Okay? Diva time. Where's the spot, baby? Where's the spot? Huh? You know where that spot is. Yes, sir. Shall we continue?
Stayed on the West Coast and joined the biker scene, embracing a gay, hyper-masculine identity and experimenting with kinky sex. Soon, gay leather culture spread to cities across the US and Europe. And then a few decades ago, it became a lot more visible.
In, you know, the late 80s and the 90s in San Francisco, sexuality was something that we were really in turmoil over because of AIDS and because of the serious fury and confusion and terror around the disease.
Some policemen wearing masks and gloves when dealing with homosexuals. Some morticians refusing to embalm the bodies of AIDS victims.
And so BDSM was the perfect kind of outlet for that.
Condoms, dental dams, and all kinds of latex became part of the fun.
It sexualized all of these things that were kind of like barriers in the past, which I think is really healing and really remarkable.
And it helped people cope with their anxieties around sex by getting them out of their heads, which is still a part of the appeal of BDSM today.
It's a full process, it's a full story, it's a full immersion that you're creating yourself and that you get to experience with somebody else. And it's what we call in BDSM, we call it play, because it is that part of us that has forgotten how to just role play.
But BDSM fantasies go back way further than the 20th century. The Sado and Sadomasochism comes from the Marquis de Sade, a 1700s French nobleman known for his kinky sex crimes and for his novels depicting kinky sex crimes. And the Masochism and Sadomasochism comes from Leopold von Sacher-Masoch, an Austrian nobleman born 100 years later, whose book Venus Impels told the semi-autobiographical story of a man who convinces a woman to make him her slave. The psychiatrist who coined the term masochism explained that this, quote, perversion, up to his time was quite unknown to the scientific world. But we now know this perversion, at least imagining it, is widespread. More than 3/4 of people in Miller's study had fantasized about bondage, as in restraining someone or being restrained. More than half about discipline, as in giving or following orders. And almost 3/4 about inflicting or receiving pain, mostly biting and spanking.
The fact that
Who here likes to have your partner bite you? Some women and men like biting. I don't mind a little biting. I bite. I like to bite. I bite. I'm a biter. I am a man eater. Chomp, chomp, motherfucker. We just started, mama. Don't worry. You could watch the replay later, babe. You didn't miss much. We were only into the video about 10 minutes long. T baby, she said, oh my God. I don't mind biting. I like biting. Oh my God. You could ask my husband. I like biting. I shouldn't even say like. I love biting. I'm a biter. I like to spank too. I'm a little dominant. I am. I'm dominant. I like to be dominant. I don't want to, I don't like to initiate it, but I like to be dominant. It's weird. Shall we continue?
almost everyone was having some type of BDSM fantasy tells us this is not some rare or unusual sexual interest.
Including fantasies about forced sex. In Miller's study, 54% of men, 61% of women, and 68% of non-binary people had fantasized about being forced to have sex at least once.
So it's me being in a position where I'm being pursued and I don't want to be, and so almost in a rape fantasy scenario.
In TV and movies, this fantasy often follows a template. A spunky but ultimately vulnerable woman is raped, but then falls in love with her abuser. Although in those two on the right, it's a little complicated. This formula also plays out in 80% of Thai soap operas. It's so normal, the genre even has a cutesy nickname, Slap and Kiss, because there's a lot of slapping, then kissing. And this fantasy goes way back too.
I'm sorry, but if you slap me, I'm gonna slap you back. And then if you slap me back again, I'm gonna punch you in your face. This is not happening.
One of the first modern rape fantasy novels, The Sheik, was published in England in 1919. Such a sensation, it also got the Hollywood treatment. A feisty white woman is kidnapped by a sexy and violent Arab prince. He rapes her, she falls in love, and they live happily ever after. Audiences loved it. The movie broke box office records in New York and was a runaway hit in France, too. And in 1987, a survey of historical American romance novels, which are written and read mostly by women, found that more than half feature the rape of the lead female character, perhaps freeing the heroine from the moral slur of consenting to have sexual intercourse before marriage, according to one researcher.
Often our fantasies involve things that are taboo, things that are forbidden, things that we feel that we can't express in everyday life. And the simple fact that it's taboo and forbidden is what makes it exciting and titillating. That doesn't mean you actually want it in your everyday life. Nobody thinks that if you have a fantasy about rape, that you want to be raped, or you're someone who's oriented toward rape.
For me, it's like, oh yeah, I like to be the submissive because I'm in control a lot of my life. But being submissive in sex doesn't mean I'm not in control of the sex, because I'm in control of everything in sex. So it's just another natural extension of my own personality.
Our fantasies are also an extension of our culture. A survey of Swedish romance novels, also done in the 1980s, found almost no examples of women falling in love with their rapists. The researcher explained that could be because premarital sex was not quite the cultural taboo as it was in the United States at the time. While in India today, the portrayal of sex is taboo. Porn is actually illegal. So,
You hear that? Porn is illegal in India. And some women like to have forceful, rapeful sex. Like, that's crazy. You know, and if you, like I said, if you have the right partner, you're willing to do these things. You know? It's all about creating a fantasy for your partner. Blade! What's up, baby? Blade's already smoking. Girl, mine's already rolled. I had to put it down for a second. I got an indica. I don't want to go to sleep on y'all.
it's easier to make in the form of comic books. And these are two of the most popular characters, cartoon housewives Savita Bobby and Velma. Both maternal figures, just with different figures, who are ignored by their husbands and bored with their domestic routines. So spend their days on the prowl for sex, often with younger men. Pursuing their own pleasure, they boldly violate every social restriction placed on Indian women. And in the US, a popular porn genre among men is the humiliation of men. A white man watches his white girlfriend or wife get ravaged by a much stronger and dominant black man.
It's my house. It is your house, but I live in it sometimes.
Playing off a stereotype of black men as sexual threats that goes back hundreds of years. And then in the 2000s, a new threat gripped the Western imagination.
Events in Iraq have now reached the final days of decision. We will tear down the apparatus of terror, and we will help you to build a new Iraq.
During the War on Terror, the sexy chic genre had a resurgence, peaking in the lead up to the invasion of Iraq, with plot points like Al-Qaeda ties, weapons of mass destruction, and defeating terrorism.
Institutionalized racism in the United States seems to creep into our sexual fantasies.
And that affects the fantasies of marginalized groups too.
A lot of people who have immigrated here, their ideas of success and safety for their children is actually just to assimilate, especially in the Asian American communities. They want their children mostly to be successful in all these other areas that have already been approved by this white society.
Which may be why Leigh Miller's study found that the vast majority of Asian Americans, whether they fantasize about men or women, fantasize about white people most of the time. And you know there's a long history of white men fantasizing about Asian women, as you can see in movies that go back decades.
At this moment, all my honorable intentions are getting sort of weak in the knees.
Your eyes are as soft. Your hair is pleasant to my touch.
Take clothes off?
No, I've never tried nudes.
Good time to try.
There's so much about us that is really about sexualization from the white perspective or the male gaze, but it's really not about our sexuality where we have agency. We're telling the story.
Which is why Yin Q created a web series, Mercy Mistress, based on her career as a dominatrix.
For me, I'm hardwired to be kinky. It's part of my sexual orientation. It's just part of my queerness.
I was really drawn to Mercy Mistress because I really love the idea of having an Asian American dominatrix talking about her life. I love any story that's about Asian American sexuality because we don't really have one yet.
We may not be able to get rid of our fantasies. Some researchers say our turn-ons are like languages. We can't unlearn them, but we can learn new ones.
Just watching porn can also shape.
She Cherise said, I'm drop kicking a motherfucker as soon as I see the ties. Don't tie or cuff me. I don't mind it. I've actually been cuffed and tied to the bed. I was actually handcuffed to a closet pole. You know, the pole where you hang the clothes up on. The handcuffs were thrown around it, and I was handcuffed to it. Yeah, that was cool. That was a lot of fun. And it was done with a female. How about that? I was actually tied up to the bedpost as well. Hands and feet. Also hands by itself. It's not bad. It's not bad. You just gotta let yourself go. Let yourself go. No handcuffs either. Nope. Okay. Blades not even. Yeah, me too. I could be submissive too, but I'm more. I don't know. I can be dominant at times, but I'm submissive. Chung Lee put this back. Yes, ladies, don't forget to hit that like buttons. She said, ever. This is correct, Michelle. What you said is absolutely correct. It shows a strong bond of trust between partners. This is facts. Hey, El Good, what's up, baby? Really? Mama. Girl, Michelle, we gotta find you a bed with some posts, girl. Only if he wants it. Okay. Yeah, it's not for everybody, to each his own. But it's always cool to experiment at least once, so you can know what you will be comfortable with and what you're not going to be comfortable with. You'll be surprised. You would be surprised. Purple. What's up, mama? You joining in on this S&M lesson. We've been in on the lesson for like about 15 minutes now, but you could always watch the replay, mama. You wouldn't feel comfortable? What about if he decided to tie you up with like a pair of socks? Or your pantyhose? Michelle's worried about the bedpost. Ave Maria, girl. See, this is the problem with us women. We think too much. Even when we're in the middle of having sex. How many of you, by a show of hands, ladies, how many of you were into your boyfriends, you're in the middle of having sex, and you start thinking about bills, the kids, the thing you have to do tomorrow, your audition, homework, whatever it is, you just start thinking about shit, and then all of a sudden, your pussy shrivels up, you get dry, you're not in the mood anymore, you can't wait for him to get off of you, because you're done. Has this ever happened to you? By show of hands. We are overthinkers. Like our minds are constantly fucking going. We sleep and our brains are still talking. All right. So let's see how many of us in here are water signs. Drop your signs in the chat, ladies. This is me all day. Pisces is in the building. Welcome to my world. Okay, we got Scorpio. I'm a Pisces. So we got another water sign here. Let's see. Okay, Virgo. Okay, earth sign. Okay. You're a little bit more reserved, Virgo. Geminis. Okay, Geminis. You're reserved, but you're deadly too, because you got another side to you. Sagittarius. You guys are very romantic. Scorpio, okay. Okay. We got 2 Scorpios in here. Okay, so we got some water signs. Libra. All right, Miss Libra going on. Another earth sign, right? Okay, okay, okay. Scorpio, yeah, the water signs, Cancers, Scorpios, Pisces, we are a little bit more open with our sexuality. It's not for everyone, but the majorities of the signs are like that. Like we're very hypersexual. Girl, what? Charisse, in a little bit, I'm going to have an open panel. And you ladies can come up and say a little bit of your experience if you want. On something that you enjoyed or you didn't enjoy. Something you tried, something you would like to try, something you would never try. We can talk about it. I'm not going to make this a really long live, guys. I'm trying my best not to. But this is a good conversation. Why did he give you an out-of-body experience? Girl, was it too much for you? Was he wanting sex too much? And Scorpios are like that. They like to fuck. Like Cancers, they like to fuck. Pisces, we like to fuck. Oh, okay. Okay. So he was good in bed, but toxic in the relationship? Don't you hate that shit? Oh, God. It makes you want to stick around just a little bit longer. Because we get dickmatized and men get pussy whipped, right? That's what they say. Aquarius, okay. Okay. You too, you're reserved too. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so that's what it was. You know, and it's horrible like that. Because I was with a man, let me tell you something. Yeah, I was with a man for a very long time. And the sex was always great. But the relationship was toxic. And I was stuck only because I didn't want to lose that. I did not want to lose it. because it was that good. That's how I felt. I never was in a relationship like that. Like that, I not, you know, after I left them, I realized that's what it was. I was just seriously dignitized. You know, and he played on my emotions. He was, you know, there was good times, but there was bad times too. He wasn't physically abusive, but more verbally and emotionally abusive. I had a lot of emotional and verbal abuse. Sure did. Yeah, earth and water, or water signs together are good. Then you must love Aquarius. No, yes, Aquarius is December and January. No, I'm sorry. Aquarius is January and February. The middle of February, the middle of January, and the middle of February. Those 4 weeks in between. Mine was a Virgo. Okay. Earth and water. Yes, they go very well together. Mine was a Virgo. Right, Sagittarius and Capricorn are for December. And Capricorn is also for January. Capricorn is January and Aquarius is January. Yes, Pisces and Virgos, Scorpios and Virgos. Any water sign and earth sign make good chemistry for sex. Or even water sign and water sign. Let's finish the video.
People's fantasies as well. Maybe while you're masturbating and edging, where you're on the sort of brink of orgasm, and you come across something that's new and different that you've never seen before, that's maybe really kinky, because your disgust response is lower.
Now remember, he's talking about porn. I'm going to take it back a little bit.
Maybe while you're
Rid of our fantasies. Some researchers say our turn-ons are like languages. We can't unlearn them, but we can learn new ones.
just watching porn can also shape people's fantasies as well. Maybe while you're masturbating and edging, where you're on the sort of brink of orgasm, and you come across something that's new and different that you've never seen before, that's maybe really kinky, because your disgust response is lower, that might open the door to you watching that video till the end, at which point you might have this powerful orgasm that you might start to associate with that kink. And
all right, ladies. So who here has watched porn, likes watching porn, can watch porn while you're having sex? You're a Sag and a Virgo? Right. Angie, you said you were Virgo, right, babe? That's what you said you were, right? Virgo? Well, how many of you ladies in the chat like to watch porn? Put your hands up. Put your hands up. I want to see them hands up, girl. Or thumbs. Thumbs up, hands up, whatever. Say amen. That's true. Geminis are like that too. Sagittarius and Geminis, yep. Leos too. I mean, like, people in general get like that anyway, you know? It's not all about the astrological side, the human side. We get bored. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, so do you guys watch it by yourselves? Do you feel comfortable watching it by yourself? I feel more comfortable watching it by myself. Who likes to watch it by themselves? Let me know. Let me know. Or do you like to watch it with a partner? Or even could sit down and watch it with a friend? Put in the chat, partner, friend, and what did I say? Partner, friend, and lover. Partner, friend, and lover. By yourself. By yourself, with your partner, or with your friend. By yourself. Me too, by myself. Me too. I've actually watched it with friends and been like, kiki, kiki. It wasn't even like in a sexual manner. It was just to just make fun of the bitches and the niggas in there, like, dudes, making fun of them. Making fun of them. But to get gratification from it, I'd rather watch it by myself. Okay, Michelle. I've done that too. But you know what bothers me is that I feel like he gets more distracted with what's going on the screen than wanting to pay attention to me. Either or for you, Karen. Okay. I don't mind watching it, my man. I like to actually watch him watch it and watch him get off. I've done that too. I've done pretended to be asleep and watch him get off. How many of y'all have done that? Put your hands in there. How many of you ladies have ever watched your man get off without touching him and pretending you're asleep? Or just pretending you're asleep and watching him? Or just lay next to him and watch him? Diva's house said, yeah. Okay. So don't, it's for me, it's like, I don't know. I feel like when I masturbate, it's private. I don't want nobody watching me. It's just weird. That's true, T baby, but not always. Not much of that, purple. Okay. No pretend. T baby, no pretending. Right. It's no point. Cherise. We getting in before they do. Okay. Me either. I don't enjoy it as much when somebody's watching me. I just feel weird. It just feels weird for me. It might sound crazy, but I'm with you, Diva Time. I feel the same way. I don't know. I won't get off. I'll just keep, and nothing will happen. Like nothing will happen. But leave me in a room by myself alone. Give me 2 minutes. I'm done. Give me 2 minutes. I'm done. Like, that's another thing that amazes me. Having an orgasm. The first time I ever had an orgasm, I was 18 years old with my partner. I dated the guy for 2 years. I even moved in with him. Was I 18? Yeah, I was 18. Mm-hmm. So I was 20, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he was a frat brother from a fraternity. Yeah, he was a frat brother from a fraternity. I forgot what college he went to. But he was a frat brother. And he was teaching me all these things of Greeks and stuff. And yeah, he talked a lot about his brothers and stuff like that. And he was a bouncer to the club that I used to go out to. And wow, I never had a shaking leg moment ever in my life. Never. Now remember, I was abused from the age of 9 till I was about 14. So all those sexual experiences were horrible. And then when I did have my first boyfriend, my first love, I didn't experience that with him. It took me for my next boyfriend to be 18, because I was with my first boyfriend for 4 years. And then when I was 18, I started dating the bouncer guy and I started going partying and stuff. And I met him. And yeah, he was the first guy to make me ever shake my leg. Wow, at 16 you had your first one? Girl, that was a good one. I was 18 when I had my first one. Yup. It was a good one. But, porn is also, a lot of women get mad at their men for watching porn. And they consider that as cheating. Do you consider that as cheating, guys? Anybody in here in the chat would consider your boyfriend watching porn cheating? Michelle said that. Yes, those leg shaking years, girl. So have you ever have I ever Okay, I'm gonna continue this.
As a result, that might lead you to want to fantasize more about that in the future.
And while 79% in Leigh Miller's study said they want to act out their favorite fantasy of all time, only 23% said they'd actually try.
If you're in a loving, intimate relationship where you are sexual with somebody, that you're very trusting of them, and you feel like you can share these taboo parts of yourself, then that can be a really good way to sort of see how intimate we can be. Real intimacy isn't just sharing the beauty of who we are, it's also sharing the ugly. And the ugly can actually be very gratifying.
And if your fantasies are on the violent side, that requires a lot of communication.
There's a very safe way to work through all fetishes and all kinds of ideas and kinks through BDSM. It's actually a wonderful way to do that. It's one of the great things about sexuality. It can bring us closer in a way that maybe other forms of communication can't.
It's the setting up and the continuous check-in of consent that that person that you're playing with is continuously enjoying what they are experiencing with you, and that there's actually safe words that are set up to protect both sides of going too far.
Most of our fantasies reflect basic human needs.
Safe words are good to have when you're doing these things. Because like she said, you have to let the person know that they're going too far. So what kind of safe words, I wonder, what kind of safe words would you use? Drop the words in the chat, guys. What kind of safe words would you use if you were into this S&M, BDSM? Let me see. Let me think. Maybe, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. What kind of a safe word would I use if I was into that stuff? I would say, I don't know. I would probably just say, get the fuck off and stop. I don't know. Like, stop. You know, get the fuck off. It's got to be something that won't ruin the moment. It has to be a word that won't ruin the moment, but you're letting your partner know that he's going, or he or she is going too far. Pineapples. Okay, I like that one. Pineapples. Robin said, nope, we're not playing. Tree, okay. Tree. Tree, okay. Tree and pineapples. All right. Tree, pineapples. Snowflakes. I would say snowflake. I don't know why, it sounds pretty. I would just say snowflake.
Feeling desired and validated. Breaking out of our routine.
Wepa. So now we're talking about breaking out of routines, you know?
And coping with anxieties. And many of our most popular fantasies mix and match these genres. Like mom fantasies. That's pretty novel, and it's definitely power play. Or gangbang fantasies, which are group sex, usually with a dash of power play. Or the chic, which is a racial power play, enforced sex, and romance.
Often fantasies come from a variety of different places. Some memory of something, some book that you read. It becomes this kind of mishmash in your mind. But there's a lot of variability in sexual fantasies, and they don't tell you anything reliable about you. If you have fantasies that disturb you or scare you and you wonder what they mean, they don't mean a lot. So don't worry so much about them.
You heard that? If you have some crazy sexual fantasy dream, don't worry about it. It's normal. It's okay. You shouldn't feel embarrassed. It's something that's in the back of your mind. You're curious. Go for it, man. You know, always experience something in life. And if you think that might give you some type of pleasure, do it, man. Go for it, man. Try it out. Don't be scared. Try it out. Don't be afraid. All right. Good night, ladies. I enjoyed myself, as you can tell. Work tomorrow. Love you all. Love you too, T baby. Have a wonderful evening, mommy. Enjoy your day tomorrow as well.
Can you mute your mic on your live?
All right. I guess that was the end of that. Yep. And that was the end of that, guys. I'm coming right now. Give me 1 second, guys. I will be right back. Good night, Cherise. Good night, Michelle. Really? Purple. All right. He might not have liked it. Okay. Next time, you know what he might like? Maybe just rubbing some oil on him and just massaging him. Or maybe one day drizzle some honey. Thank you. I enjoyed it as well. I'm enjoying it. I'm glad you enjoyed it, sweetheart. No, it's not over. No. We're still here, girl. I'm still on. We chilling. It's not over yet. I actually wanted to read about an article that I have here. Let's see. Can I share my screen? Can I do that? Can I zoom out real quick? Hold up. Let me take the overlay off. Hey guys. I have the overlay on to show y'all. I'm going to share my screen, share screen. It's in this window. Yep. Let's see if I can just make this a little bit bigger. All right. Now, Angie Walker, yeast infection. What? Nobody's putting no whipped cream on the bottom area. Who is doing this? The whipped cream is probably too cold. No, you know what? He probably just didn't like it, you know? Now, you know, we were talking about S&M, right? And we were talking about how R. Kelly is being charged with committing these acts on these girls, right? Now, I found the article and it says, what most people call love is actually sadomasochism, right? Honey is sticky, but all you have to do is drizzle a little bit and lick it up, girl. Use chocolate syrup. It's sticky too. I've done these things. It's good. Whipped cream is good. It's a little cold, but you know, you put it in the right places. You put it on the nipple areas. You go down the middle of the stomach, down to the pube area, up to it, you know what I mean? And enjoy it. What, girl? No, baby, the whipped cream does not go there. No. You were absolutely correct. Infections. Let's not do that. And guys, always remember, before you want to play with a woman, wash your hands. Wash your hands. I hate to be popped. You must wash your hands. You know? Yeah, girl. Are you alone or you're not alone? Am I that loud? You know I'm loud. Angie. So what most people call love is actually sadomasochism, right? So sadomasochism is interaction and especially sexual activity in which one person enjoys inflicting physical or mental suffering on another person who derives pleasure from experiencing pain. So it's a person who likes to do both, give pain and receive pain. Now, why do you think they said that R. Kelly is a sadomasochist? He does sadomasochistic stuff. It says that you give pain, but you also endure pain. What kind of pain do you think in the play of S&M, which we just learned from, right, by listening to the video, what he was saying and talking about the acts, right? What kind of pain do you think the women gave to him that was pleasure? Drop it down in the chat, y'all. If you think you know what kind of pleasure he had in return from these girls. Let's see if my girls are smart. Were you girls paying attention? Was y'all paying attention? What kind of pain but pleasure did these girls have to do to R. Kelly? Drop it down in the chat, ladies. Let's go. Come on now. I know y'all know. What kind of pleasure did he want the girls to act out on him that was also pain but pleasure? Think, guys. Think. What do you think, ladies? You don't know. Guys. Angie. Diva. I know you gotta know. Come on. All right, guys. The anal portion. The anal portion. That was his part of his S&M. Pleasure that was done to him. Isn't that what a few of them said? He likes to have anal penetration. Right? So R. Kelly likes to spank them, punish them, and give them pleasure. So he's a sadomasochistic. He's a sadomasochistic personality or disorder, as Angie was saying the other day. Let me go here real quick. Okay. I refuse to write that nasty shit in the chat. Michelle, girl. It's all right. I said it for you, baby. I said it for you. I'm going to drop the link, guys, in the chat. You can join the stream. I'm going to pin it up. All right. If you would like to join the panel and you have any questions, or you would like to just discuss a fantasy or an experience, or how you even feel about this, you're more than welcome to join in, ladies. So now it says that it sounds intense, right? We might think of 50 Shades of Grey, dark underground sex rooms, leather, spikes, and chains. Mostly, these images arise from Hollywood, right? Extremist media and San Fran sex shows. But the original meaning of sadomasochism applicable to this discussion was a bit more tame. Sadomasochism is a portmanteau of sadism and masochism, terms coined in the 19th century by German psychiatrist Richard von Krafft-Ebing, who conceived of common natural tendencies of sadism in men and masochism in women that were based on control rather than necessitating. Come on in, ladies. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Diva. Hi,
Hey,
Angie.
so I did have some comments I wanted to make.
Okay, baby.
All right,
Shoot.
so like I'm real blunt, so just forgive me, y'all, because
Don't
like
worry.
that's just who I am. But like in my past relationship, I was married. My ex-husband, he used to beat on me or call himself disciplining me. And some of that stuff I found that I ended up liking, and some of it was way too off the rails. But what I took from that past relationship was liking to get my ass spanked, like for real,
Yes.
like
Yes.
hard, not just tap, tap,
That's all.
tap.
Right. Okay. So I don't mind. I like getting
But
spanked
that's
too.
as far as it goes. That's as far as I go with that. Like I
You've
don't
never
do the whips,
given
the chains, the
handcuffs?
blindfolds, any of that.
Okay. So that's just too much.
I do think I like to be dominated a little bit though. So like
Okay.
that probably goes along with the butt slapping, but yeah.
And the pulling of the hair.
Well, no, I don't like getting my hair pulled.
Okay. What about
I'm
you,
not a
Angie?
hair pulling person. I don't want to be tied down. Like I ain't that. I just like getting my ass slapped. I don't know. I think it's something I brought out my past relationship.
You know, I don't. What about you, Angie?
No, I don't. I got to whisper a little bit. Wait a minute, y'all can hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, girl,
baby.
we hear you.
Yeah, I know I sound like I'm on a plantation, but listen. Listen.
It's too much, y'all.
You know, now I don't like all kind of shit now. Wait a minute now, but I'll do a little of that submissive stuff like while we in the act. But girl, this is what I want to ask somebody because y'all can hear me.
Yeah,
Yes,
we can
baby.
hear you.
Girl, I had one time okay, this is when me and my husband all we had to do was like finalize everything and he just had to move out, right? So, I wasn't, like I ain't call myself cheating because like nothing really was going on, but I was, dating somebody, right? And he was the postman child. Girl, so let me tell you. So one time I was at work, and so when your ass doing wrong, you got to go to your entanglement house right after work. Then you
Yeah,
go
you
home.
go when you get out work.
Yeah, you can't go home and then try to ease out and shit because that ain't
And
gonna work
then
out.
leave back out. It don't work
Yeah,
like
you
that.
can't do that. It don't work like that. There's some shit gonna pop off. So
Yeah.
Right.
So, girl, the day before, he told me to wear some heels, right? The entanglement. He told me to wear some heels. So I wore the
Okay.
damn heels to work the next day and shit. I'm like, well, I don't know what's finna go on. Maybe we finna go out or something. So when I go to his house right after work, girl, his ass. So, girl,
I already see where this is going.
his ass. His
Keep
ass,
going, girl. Keep going.
girl, his ass done got on the floor, right? So, he on the floor, he messed with me or whatever. So I went to get up, right? And so he gonna say, girl, this is the craziest shit I ever heard. He gonna ask me to step on his dick.
Yeah, they like that.
Oh, y'all know about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
Yes.
hell no, I don't know nothing about that. I was like, say that again. You want to do what?
Yes. Yes. Some men like
They
this.
like
Listen,
that.
I used
I
to
thought
get
you
paid.
knew.
I used to
Understand,
get
right?
paid.
Now you want me to come from them people courthouse and shit. Now you want me to come on over there and step on your dick. Like, what kind of life am I living at this point?
Listen,
What
Angie,
the fuck is going on?
Angie, let me down break you down. Men have obsessions with feet. They love women's feet for some reason. Not all men are like that, but Some are. And they like to feel your feet on their penis, on their balls, on all of it.
But Diva, I'm 5'8", and I was wearing a size 12 shoe, girl. Ain't nobody can ask me. And girl, let me tell you something. So of course I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I went to kind of tapping on it, whatever. Girl, do you know he took that shoe off my goddamn foot and
Come
started
on.
doing it himself?
Yeah, baby.
Girl, I told everybody about that shit. I ain't tell them who. I was so shocked. Like, what the hell is this?
Men, that's what I'm saying. And I'm pretty sure you were enjoying this man, so you were willing to do something you don't normally do to please him.
Right, yeah, I
You know,
liked him. Yeah.
Right. So when it's normal to do things that are out of your character for the one you care for.
Exactly. I agree with that, Diva. And sometimes you have to compromise. Just
Yeah.
because it's not what you would have originally been interested in sexually doesn't mean that your partner didn't come into the relationship already interested in it.
Right.
And sometimes people are just on different, they just in different spots in where they want to be. Like, I'll be honest with you, with Scorpios, we pretty much want to have meaningful relationships of all kinds. So that's why you don't see Scorpios that are single or that just be out there with a lot of partners, because we have to have meaningful relationships with our friendships, with our men or women or whatever, with everything. So, but the thing about Scorpios is they are extremely, extremely sexual. They think about sex all the time.
Yes.
I don't care how religious a Scorpio is.
Right.
I don't give a flying hoot how close to sainthood they are. It's just in our blood for some reason. I wake up with it on my mind. I go to bed with it on my mind. When I get done having it with my husband, I'm already thinking about when the next time I'm gonna get it. That's and of course, getting to be an adult, you learn to control it, because when you young, you a youth, you just out there all alone with this high sex drive. Yeah, you all alone with this high sex drive.
Right.
That's why Scorpios be trying to hurry up and get in a deep, meaningful relationship.
Right.
So we can just
because you want to have a partner all the time, somebody you can go to all the
yeah.
time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And like I'll tell my husband, if you try to hold out or something, I'll cheat on you. Don't do me like that, So it is what it is.
I've been into a couple of things, I don't mind that tying up. I've been tied up, like I said. I've enjoyed it. I've had sex outside. I've enjoyed that. I even one time had sex on the bus, the public bus.
Oh my God.
What?
Not the damn bus.
She said, not the damn bus.
You talking
your ass off the bus in them
Wait
damn
a minute,
bridges.
I ain't never had no sex on no bus, girl.
Girl.
Oh Lord.
There's a first time for everything. I've even had sex on the train.
Nah, I never had sex on the train. I tell you where I did have sex though before. That was different on a cruise ship.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I've had sex
in the Bahamas.
I've had sex under the boardwalk at the beach. I've had sex.
I bet that's fun.
On the beach.
Girl, wait a minute. You had sex in the sand?
In the sand, on the blanket, even in the park.
But I bet that blanket was all underneath that sand. It probably just kept stinking.
No. Everything was good. It wasn't like we were having sex because we were under a thin blanket,
Gotcha.
and we were covered, but we did it right then and there. And it was nighttime. People were on the beach, but it wasn't broad daylight like that. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
The time I did do it, in broad daylight. It was under the boardwalk.
Yeah, I don't know about the outside sex thing. Like I said, I did it on a cruise ship once. I was young though. I was young.
I wasn't this young. I was an adult at
I
this
know I
time.
was an adult when that happened, but I mean, I was like still in college, 20, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I was in my late 20s, you know, even in my 30s. I actually had sex one time right there on a block, like right there. Me and my husband.
Girl, you couldn't wait till you got home.
We couldn't wait to get to the hotel. Because we
Oh,
were dating
shit.
at the time. We couldn't wait to get to the hotel. This happened before we got to the hotel.
Wow.
He said, yep.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, we were watching somebody else's living room.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
We
crazy.
are
Oh
and
my
we
God.
are an amazing couple.
Let me tell you what I did see one time. One time, my husband and I went to the movies during the week, and we walked into the movie theater, and there was a chick in there giving head to a guy
Yes, I've done
in
that.
the movie
I've
theater.
done that too.
And they tried to hurry up and jump up when we walked in. I was like, oh, this is the hangout spot for folks, huh?
Yeah.
I would
Go to the
fell
movies
out.
during the daytime.
You just sit in the back. You sit in the back of the theater. And
You
you
gonna
do
see
your
some
thing.
stuff, baby.
Girl, you do your thing. I know I did mine. Nobody knew. It
Ooh
was
wee,
all good.
baby. I was like, ooh wee. I'm all peeking my head over the chair trying to see what's
I even one
on?
time had sex in a Burger King bathroom.
Hell nah.
Eva.
Yes.
Oh
all
no,
over the
girl.
damn boroughs and shit, christening and
I
shit.
am a free spirit.
Yeah, I'm pretty free too, but I ain't never did it in a Burger King bathroom.
Yeah, girl. Me and my man it was an urge, and
I
it was
feel
like,
you though.
yo, this is what it is, man. Let's go right now. We're playing
Too
quickies
funny.
under the table and shit, you know.
Wow.
So yeah, it was like, yo, let's go.
Wow.
Let's go. Yes, I am
Oh,
not.
y'all done killed me tonight. I'm finna get off and get back in the chat, but y'all done made my night tonight.
Girl, yeah. Let me go on back in the chat too, child.
I'm finna go back in the chat though.
Feel like what the hell gonna happen now?
Did I
All
scare
right.
you, lady? This is not to scare nobody. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yes, highly advised.
It is. This is a very touchy subject. And you know, it's people like to inhibit these things. They love it. You know, and if you're going to experience these things, I just say make sure you experience them with someone you trust, someone you love, someone that you've been with for years, not just someone you just met.
Right. That makes
Not with
sense.
someone you just met. It has to be with someone you sincerely love, care for, and trust with all your heart. Because certain things you might not like and certain things you might like, but it's worth trying for your partner. That's how you keep your relationship going.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, then you just tell them, listen, I really don't like it, but I'll try it. And then if you try and you don't like it, you say, babe, that's just not for me. And then he'll be like, all right, but you know what? You tried it. And he appreciated that you tried it. And he loves you even more for showing him that respect. And him giving you that same respect back. You know, it's all about communication. R. Kelly's problem is He didn't ask nobody. He just said, do it. This is why he charged things. He never asked any of these ladies. He just said, do it. Or I'm going to spank you. I'm going to punish you. You're going to suffer a consequence. You're going to ask me for food, and I'm going to forget that you want to eat for the day because I'm so busy. I'm not going to answer my phone. Oh, I know it's you calling. These are things that he did. Pain and pleasure. Control.
Wow.
It says that in the book that the guy wrote, Richard Von Croft, the name of the book is Escape from Freedom. He describes sadomasochistic tendencies in a similar light as universal impulses rather than the physical eccentricities that we relate the term with today. And Rich Fromm states that sadism and masochism are safety mechanisms that fulfill one basic need, and it's to escape the unbearable feelings of isolation, anxiety, and doubt. They help us to forget the powerlessness of ourselves. Now, look, you think, like Angie was saying, that sometimes this is a disorder. This is considered also as a disorder, because like you said, anxiety and all these things that you're going through, somehow it helps with that. So maybe R. Kelly was dealing with his anxiety and what he was going through by doing these things to the women. So he don't see this as doing no wrong. That's probably why in ways he don't feel guilty. That's probably why he's like, I'm not guilty. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, maybe I mistreated them a little bit, but I said I was sorry. Right?
Right. And you know what? If they take that into the court, that can be another example of why they consider him dangerous. Especially if they put it like that. Because like you don't even know that this is like not how it's supposed to go down.
Right. And then it says here, according to the author of the book, Fromm, he says that we all possess feelings of insecurity and powerlessness, which are inevitably created through the social process that thwart our sensual, intellectual, and emotional expansiveness. This leads us to two choices. One is to adopt sadomasochistic strivings in order to cope. The other is to bear the immense discomfort of standing alone, discovering one's authenticity, and having to make the difficult choices of an autonomous, free-thinking individual. So what do you think of that, Angie?
Wow. Well, that's deep, girl.
That's deep, right?
That's some deep.
It's like, in other words, it's saying that people use this as a coping mechanism, right? Is that not what I'm understanding?
Right. That's making you look really crazy. Like, what the hell?
Right.
Girl. Ooh.
It's striving in order to cope. so that he doesn't feel discomfort of standing alone. So he has to give pain and receive pain.
Right. Good Lord. Ooh,
You know, this
yeah.
hold on. I think somebody popped in. Because I'm off the screen. Give me a second. Oh, yep, Diva came back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I came back in because you got to trying to break down the R. Kelly mental issues that he got, and you know I have a lot to say about this.
Yes, please, baby, please do. This is what
Okay,
this panel for right now. Our opinions.
So here's the theory that I had about it. I was telling Diva one day, we were on the phone talking about it, and I was telling her that the theory that I had is that on Surviving R. Kelly, they were talking about how in middle school, in high school, the girls just really treated him bad. They said that they dogged him because he was shy and he was scared to talk in front of people, but he could sing, you know. So I feel like what happened with him was those girls pretty much tortured him in middle school and high school, and then when he got old enough to where he could get girls their age, because of course his mind stayed stuck where he was. The sexual part of it did anyway. So it stayed stuck. So because he wanted to probably do or act out those things with girls that he liked, and they weren't trying to give him the time of day. So he been torturing them young girls like that to get revenge. Like that's totally what his psychotic ass brain that had him doing over 30 years.
Exactly. I agree with that. I think psychologically he was hurt, and he figured because even his own mother hurt him.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Which is why those other women got abused too. Which is why Kitty and them women that were not teenagers when they went with him, that were fully grown, I'm talking about 25, 30-year-old women and shit that went with R. Kelly. Yeah. That's why they got abused too. But he probably got a thing for trying to abuse young girls because of how he was tortured. And you know what? Men that are like that are oftentimes gay. Like they're all the way gay. They not bisexual. They're gay. Full on gay. Yeah.
It's and that's why he has these gay tendencies that he fantasizes with the women, because he has that narcissistic problem, right? And he also has this macho persona to have to carry on. So he figures if it comes from a woman, then it won't look so bad.
Right, exactly. So that's all I'm saying as far as when I tried to break it down. Like I watched Surviving R. Kelly a couple times, and I listened and I took notes, and I said, well, she said he said this, and this person said he said that, and his brother said that that girls didn't flock to him because he was shy, and he couldn't talk to girls. So he developed a complex about it.
Right, he thought he was an ugly duckling.
Yeah, he developed a complex about it. So when he got old enough, let's see what happens with men like him. Women that are mature, they can't really be with nobody like him, because he'll they'll not want to be with him real quick after they figure out their brain is puny. A real woman, a mature woman, ain't gonna fool with him too long. But he can get those young girls in control. You get what I'm saying?
It's all
He
about
can take them and get them to do what he wants. And that's why he needs to be prosecuted and taken off the street and locked up. Right. Because then you taking advantage, bro. Because a woman with a right brain, eventually she gonna be like, oh, nah, this brother ain't, I don't care how much money he got. His brain is elevated, don't go all the way to the top.
Right. And he has that sadomastic disorder too, as well as the narcissism.
Yeah, and those are two disorders that really are awful together. And you
Right,
know,
for him to control.
Carrie said also on Surviving R. Kelly that he had reached out to a couple of ministers and preachers and
Yeah.
priests and people to try to get help because he realized at some point there was an issue. The problem I got with R. Kelly is he had all the money in the world. He could have got the best psychiatrist. He could
Yes.
have got the best psychoanalytic therapist.
Right.
He could have got the best.
Right.
He could have went undergone all kinds of they do all kinds of therapies for people who are like him.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Do.
And he could have done that. He had the money. It was not a healthcare issue. He chose to sit back and let himself continue to sink into that. Before you know it, he figured, oh, well, this is just who I am. Accept me for who I am. No. You need to get help, bro.
Yes. Yes.
And
See,
that's what
and the
people were
problem is
saying
I
throughout
think
the
the yes
entire documentary.
right. I think the yes men, like I said, they fed him his narcissistic supply and demand. So therefore, people
He
sweeping it under
became
the rug.
accustomed to that.
There you go. That's what I was just about to say. It brought him to be used to what he's doing. Like it's okay. He
So
got
that's
accustomed to
my
doing
theory on it. I had to call y'all back and put my 2 cents
course.
in on
I
that because you
love
know you and I talk about this all the time, Diva.
yes, yes, yes. And it's a
But I'm
shame
gonna stay on. I'm gonna
he
mute, but I'm
never
gonna
got
stay
the help.
on.
That's fine,
Yeah.
Mama. He never got the help he needed. He was asking for the help, but denying the help at the same time because his narcissistic supply was being fed. And after that point, it was just like, you know what? I could continue to do my shit. Nobody's going to care. Because nobody really cared. They made a stink. He brought to trial, got acquitted. Everybody said, oh, it's R. Kelly. And he continued and just left it be to never get any help. Fuck it. He should have got help 30 years ago. And he didn't. And now he's the man that he is today. And he's sitting in jail, waiting trial for crimes he thinks he didn't commit because he thinks what he did was the right thing to do. It was the normal thing to do. This is society. I'm a rock and roll star. I'm supposed to have pussy by the pound. I'm supposed to have women flocking at me. I'm supposed to. Me, 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 me. That's how he thinks. I think. So
Right.
now it says that Masochism, he states that is an attempt to relieve feelings of isolation, weakness, and the torture of doubt by immersing into and identifying with someone or something greater than oneself. Whether that is a person, an ideal, nation, or institution. The woman with masochistic strivings surrenders her integrity and freedom, yet gains the security of following prescribed ideals, roles, or rules. She escapes the anxiety of discovering who she is or making the decisions required of an autonomous being and gains meaning and pride for her life through her participation in the power in which she submerges. Now, wait. What? So, attempting the feeling of isolation is the weakness and torture of doubt. Also, identifying with someone or something greater than oneself. So, it's kind of like worshiping. So, whether that person is an ideal nation or an institution. Right. So it's kind of like worshiping. You know, it's so it's like it's about worship. I think this is what this is saying. Um, that when a woman surrenders herself to worship the man, she loses her integrity and freedom, but yet gains security by doing these roles and following these rules. Because the man, I guess, is praising her or whatever, but she also feels like she's escaping some type of anxiety of discovering who she is and making the decision to require being this open-minded person, and gains meaning and pride for her life through her participation in the power in which she submerges. So they're talking about when a woman is being a dominatrix, I think.
Okay.
They're talking about a dominatrix. They're
Oh,
talking about
okay.
when a woman is a dominatrix. I would love to be a dominatrix. I ain't even gonna lie.
No, ma'am.
I ain't even gonna lie. Let me bust a whoop on your ass real quick. Let me do that and have fun listening to you say, ow, harder, yes, baby, give me more. Like, that's a turn on. What? You don't think so? I think that would be a turn on.
I'm gonna start looking at you like you're crazy.
A diva is a diva. I am a diva, y'all.
Looking, I'm from down south. I'm gonna start looking at your ass like you're crazy. I was looking
I'm
like,
not
what?
crazy. I'm not crazy.
I'm not you. I'm talking about if I hear him saying something like that, that's how I'm gonna start looking at like, what the hell?
Like, listen, you might be a little bit too much for me. I'm sorry, baby.
Okay. I'm like, oh,
it might be too much for a man or a woman, you know what I mean? But always I say be honest with whoever it is that you're going to do this play with.
Right.
Diva's back. Yes, honey.
Listen, I don't.
Diva, I think we lost your audio, babe. Are you there? Maybe you're not muted. Go back out and come back in. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, I love being dominated. I don't like to dominate. So like I can't see how you want to dominate. I don't understand this side.
Yes, I like to be rough. I don't mind putting my hands around a man's throat, spanking him.
Damn. Oh, fuck.
I'm normal. What the fuck?
She sound normal. You know what though? Women come in all colors, shapes, sizes, personalities, and everything else, sexual orientation, and everything. So hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Listen, every now and again, my husband will walk by me and I'll slap his ass.
Oh God.
Oh,
you know what? That kind of stuff turns my husband off.
Hello?
He don't like that. He's a Virgo. He don't like that. He was like, "Why you do that?"
The fact that I give him attention.
I don't like that either. I don't like that because
Man, he'll be like, "Why you do that?" Now, he knows that I love getting slapped on the ass, so he'll do it all the time. But
Right?
if I
Do it
do
to
him that
me,
way,
like, what the fuck?
it's too much. He
He got a booty, and
Virgo men
I
like to
love
be
his
dominant
booty.
in the bedroom.
Diva, how do you make it with that Virgo man, girl?
Girl, I love his dirty draws. That's
You
how.
like that
Virgo
Virgo man?
man.
Oh hell no, girl. Oh hell no.
Mine is a
Baby.
Cancer. My husband's a Cancer.
Let me tell you something. I'm telling I'm about damn strict about this policy. If your ass born in May, June, July, August, and your ass is a Virgo man, don't even try to holler at me, honey. Keep it moving. 'Cause your ass is crazy, baby. I ain't got time for your shit. Your ass, them summer
Let me
months.
tell you the only problem I got with them. Let me tell you the only problem I got with them is they are the nicest men in the whole world. He treats me like as if I'm the only. I know I'm spoiled acting, which I know y'all think, damn, what in the world? She think her shit don't stink. Nah, my husband treat me like I'm the most important woman on the planet, but he's sneaky as hell. And it's like with them, when he's with me or when he's even around me or if he's talking to people about me, he treats me like I'm the only woman on the planet. But when he gets in a situation where there is another woman there and no one else is around, he's sneaky and I have to be watching all the time. That's the only problem I got with him. And usually he's pretty faithful though, because the thing about them is it's hard for them to hide their cheating. They can't hide. So, it's just a thing about them. They don't know how they can do it.
Robin is tweaking out in the chat.
So, they can't hide their cheating. So so he'll go years. He'll go years. I'm talking about like years, 4, 5, 6 years. But as soon as he do it, I know. You don't be with a person 14 years, you don't know. They change up. They can't help it.
But do you find that some of them have a level of honesty? Some of them Virgo men have a level of honesty, but with some things, and then that other stuff they don't.
That's how they are, because they sneak.
Yeah.
But they'll be honest about any and everything else. But when it come down to cheating or something like that, they gonna try to hide that long as they can. That's just how they operate. And in their mind, they think if I ain't talk, then I didn't do it.
Right, girl, right. Like what? Girl,
they feel like if I'm not caught, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Like I have a great husband. Y'all, he's
I
really
want
great.
to play this song, S&M by Rihanna.
My team danced off of that like 7, 8 years ago.
Oh, they did? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And maybe some video of them doing a routine to this on YouTube.
That girl, that lady Whitney. I'm sorry, Diva, but that lady Whitney, she had something up there about Coach D or whatever. Because I went back and looked
Yeah,
at
she had been keeping up with Diana.
Yeah, so I got to go look at that. But that's my show, baby. That's my show.
She had what? She had what?
Oh, Diva.
No, she was just saying that Whitney B did a couple of articles or blogs on Coach D, on Diana, the lady from the show I was on.
Oh, okay.
The dance show, Bring It.
Yeah,
That's the show I was on.
Yes.
She was saying that Whitney D keep up with Coach D, and I was like, yeah, Coach D is doing blogs now, though. She's not even doing the show anymore.
Really?
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, she retired out of it.
All right, sorry, Diva. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I wanna play the song. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Let me see if I could share it this way. Did it change? Wait. No, I have to do this. Do I have to do it? No. Oh yeah, I think I do. But I think. Stop sharing screen. Okay, I have to go back. Screen. Let's see. Application. I think it's this one. Let's say I do this. Okay. All right. Let's hear Rihanna. I've never heard this song. It's by Rihanna, and it's called S&M.
I've heard it plenty
I've
of
never heard it.
times. I
This is gonna be
have heard it plenty of times.
this is gonna be my first time.
You
Here we
gonna
go.
like it.
Huh?
You gonna like it.
I probably did hear it. I probably just don't know the title. I did hear it. I didn't even know this was the title of the song.
Yep, that's it. We used to dance off of it.
Ow. Okay.
Yep, that would be S&M.
Wow. So I wonder, she must be into this as well.
I'm positive of it. You know what they said about her and Chris Brown, right? The real truth of the matter is that she was always beating Chris Brown's ass. She whooped his ass all the time. Yeah, probably was an S&M thing. He got sick of that shit eventually, though, and he whooped her ass back. And, of course, because he's a man, he had to go to jail.
Right, it looked right.
But they said she used to beat his ass all the time. Some people, to be honest, y'all, if I'm, speaking honest, some men, like some gay men, they are into that heavily. They beat the fuck out of each other all the time and be in love.
That's crazy.
I'm so serious, though. Like, coaching in the major dance world over the years, I became close with many gay men. I have many gay men brothers that are good friends with me that have been coaching with me for 10, 12 years. And they'll tell me, I had 2 coaches that coached with me. I used to pick up for practice every day. And every day they would have new bruises and scars. And I would be like, what is going on? And it was just a love thing between them. They fought each other all the time. I don't know why.
Wow.
It's control. It's a thing of control, right?
I don't know. I guess it's something in there. But just like with heterosexuals, they tend to pick people that remind them of their mothers or fathers, or the whatever relationship they trying to make make up for in their life, or whatever it is. With gay men, that's like one of the things. All of them don't be like that, but the ones that are like that, they are like that and they're heavy into.
Yeah. And it says that sadism is also a drive to escape from oneself through having power and control over others, and that sometimes even to inflict pain or suffering. Is there somebody's TV on? Okay.
I'm sorry, that was me. Let me put my mute on.
Okay. It says that what was that? Sometimes even to inflict pain or suffering upon them. And instead of being swallowed as an masochism, the sadist swallows someone else. He also loses his freedom and integrity as he is as dependent upon another to enlarge himself by making her a part of himself. Through the one or others he controls, he gains the strength that he lacks independently. So to sum up Fromm's definitions, sadism and masochism are symbiotic means of escape from feelings of isolation, powerlessness, and the responsibilities of being anonymous, free-thinking individuals.
Like I said, he should have got help for real.
Right.
Like I said, he should have gotten help.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. He really should have.
He should have got himself some help.
That's right. If he had these deep issues, he should have gotten the help he needed. And like you said before, he had so much money. He could have gotten
He
all
could have
the
afforded the
best
best
help.
secretive,
The best help.
psychoanalyst, analytic therapist there is on the planet. He could have afforded to pay for it.
Exactly.
And
then
they
it
have
says,
medication and treatments for this stuff that he had.
yes, yes. It says that, can you see now how sadomasochistic tendencies may indeed be common?
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Oh my God.
And then
Yep.
love, it says love is based on equality and freedom, which can
Right.
never be truly present within relationships where there is symbiotic complex exists.
Exactly. Which is
And then,
why he couldn't handle a mature
the
woman.
woman, right? That's why.
That's why. That's exactly why.
hmm So, like it says, because equality and freedom, which can never be truly present within relationships where where this symbiotic complex exists. So, masochism is usually touted as love through an ideal of giving or self denial, surrendering one's rights and claims to another. Sadism often rationalizes ruling over another for their sake in the name
Wow.
of love.
Wow. Break it on down then.
Okay, sadomasochistic strivings are so prevalent throughout society. And Fromm states that their lack would be challenging to find. And then he says, in my own life and through working with others, these tendencies have become easy to recognize. They're normal, omnipresent, all around. Masochism is when is wait, masochism in women often manifest as that endless, desperate craving for the love and attention of men.
Wow.
Women
Wow.
authentically believe they are searching for love, but in truth, they are seeking escape from themselves. Without a man, we often feel alone, incapable, and powerless. Life has no meaning. We want a man to save us.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure that that's how those girls felt at the moment because he made them feel that way.
But
Trust.
an older man
Trust.
can do that to a younger girl's mind.
Yes.
They know what to say.
Trust.
They've been there, done that already.
That's all he needed was their trust.
And that's it.
That's all he needed. That's all he needed. Even an adult woman, that's all he needed was trust. Then it says, I spent the first quarter of my life in the state, jumping from one relationship to the next in an endless chain. I claimed to love each one of them, yet was miraculously adept at attracting those who had challenges with monogamy or commitment or were somehow never completely available or present. The men I attracted seemed frantically focused on sex, and I resented them, boiling inside with jealousy and the fear of abandonment, all the while aching for the nurturing of real love, whatever that meant. As each relationship inevitably came to an end, I felt hurt, angry, or even traumatized. Love true, lasting, Nurturing love seemed impossible to find and hold on to. Wow, I gotta get this book.
Girl, you are into it. Girl, you are
Generation
into it.
X. Why do relationships have to be so difficult? For real. Well, honey, it's because society encourages disconnection from ourselves. So we are rarely truly connected to anyone else, which means we depend on abstract social symbols like money, status, and standardized behaviors to determine our motives, feelings, and desires. And so we're fundamentally traumatized and neurotic and stuck in paradigms of mistrust, power plays, and projection. That's why. And she's like, what? Look at her face.
Mm.
She's like, okay. Then it says, my difficulties led to a deep exploration into relationship and the schools of Western Tantra, where I sought help. Through my exploration, I could not help but notice how prevalent and symbiotic these sadomasochistic patterns were between women and men. Men were baffled by the behavior of women. Women were experiencing the same patterns as myself. We were perpetually suffering, believing ourselves powerless victims of men. And when we'd had enough, the problems continued on an even greater scale through our relationships with the gurus and teachers from whom we sought help. Who hasn't heard a thousand male guru, yogi, or Hollywood sex scandals? But why were men defective? Were they given strange, defunct alien DNA? I think so. No, is right?
Hmm.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Isn't that what they say?
Right? That's what they say.
Right? So yeah, men definitely have strange alien DNA. Was this all the work of patriarchy? I can't say that word. Patriarchy? Patriarchic? Right? Patriarchic?
Where
Right here on the
where you
top.
reading from?
Patriarchy. Patriarchic. I can't say it.
Patriarch.
Patriarch.
Yeah.
Patriarch. Patriarch. I want again my lips sometimes, I don't know. I wondered what the hell was wrong with them. Only years later and after a lot of self-work did I realize that I and many women also have a role to play in this. Yet I had always placed the blame on men. After all, sadistic tendencies certainly appear more emotionally violent and destructive. Certainly, if someone would have attempted to inform me back then that I had masochistic strivings, I'd have laughed. At least I would have if I had been so miserable. If I hadn't been so miserable. There was no way that any part of me wanted the suffering that I was experiencing. No, quite the opposite. Oh boy, so
Mm.
this guy is talking deep here. But that's the tricky thing about unconscious behaviors. They are unconscious, yet just about
Right.
all of us, if we're willing to get even the tiniest bit honest, can admit that we act in ways that we don't want to behave in spite of our conscious desires and interests. It took
Ooh, that's
years to
deep.
understand. Right. Like I said, these girls did what they did unconsciously because they wanted to please the man who they trust. But this man abused these girls by using their trust to use them for his own sexual gratification. It wasn't like their relationships were how do you call that? Compromises. Like yes. Listen, today I'm thinking about going into the black room and would you like to join me? And when we go there, when we're there, now we're there, and what are we gonna do? Okay, I want you to know that I love you and that I really want to try this new toy I bought. And I think you enjoy it. Look at it and feel it and whatever. Like, have you guys ever watched 50 Shades of Grey?
I've never seen 50 Shades of Grey 1 or 2. Hell, I've never even watched Magic Mike. Girl, I'm from the South, girl.
Girl. Come up north a little bit. Come up north just a little bit.
No, girl, I need to get out. So, I need to, shit.
I recommend you ladies watch 50 Shades of Grey. Just so you can understand the comparison of R. Kelly's alleged sadomasochistic abuse towards the girls and what being in a relationship with a man who likes these things are. Like, if y'all watch it and then think about the motion that I was reading the other day to you guys about how R. Kelly's federal indictment has to do with him performing these acts on these girls.
Wasn't that crazy, girl? Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah. Like, and these girls got used to it. People have to understand. They say, oh, why didn't they leave? They did it because they wanted to please their man, quote unquote, their man, which he pretended to be. You understand? He swooped up their minds to think one thing and manipulate them so that then he can be a sadomasochistic person to these girls who would just bow down and agree to do whatever to please this man. They got used to this stuff. That's why they didn't leave. They got used to it. It's like learning how to ride a bike. Once you learn, you can't forget.
But I didn't know that stuff, could rise to a level of becoming a mental illness, and they using it for him to be also deemed as a danger to be on the street. Girl, ain't that crazy? Till you read it, and I was looking it up. Like, what?
Yeah. Right.
This is off the chain.
If he really had good lawyers, what do you think his lawyers would do, Angie?
His lawyers would easily
what do you
go
think they could do? Right.
Oh my gosh, go for that mental disability, that mental illness, and blame everything on that. I mean, because actually the prosecutor is pretty much leading the charge for you to make that excuse. But you got to think about it. Or is your client, because you can't do nothing that your client is not going to sign off on. So you can't say, you can't go in there with a defense and saying he's mental ill, because that is saying that you are guilty, but because of this, will he sign off on that?
Hey, Audrey. Right.
The guy who shot John Lennon, he did all his time in a mental illness facility, mental, psychiatry.
An asylum, right?
Yeah, and he got out eventually.
Well, do you know that Bill Cosby's free, right?
When he became free.
Yeah, yep. He won his appeal. They dropped all the charges. He is now a free man.
Girl, when?
This happened a couple of weeks ago. Maybe a week or two.
I mean, for real? Because, honey, I mean,
Yep.
5 guys over there and the dumbest, they were doing that over there all over the internet. Wait a minute.
They're not paying attention.
Girl.
I did. He won his case. That's it. He's about to be free man. And I forgot the whole reason why, too. We'll talk about that. I'll look it up and then I'll talk about that, too. So that's alive.
Well, they say, wait a minute. They say his release date is September 25th.
There you go. That's when he's leaving. That's when he's coming out. There you go. September 25th.
Okay, and appeals court upheld. Wait a minute, but Prince agreed to this year to review his key issues, and the appeal is scheduled to be heard on December. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, well, all right, yeah, we can, we can do some.
We're gonna talk about this on another live.
Yeah,
yes.
We can do some research on this and pull it up and talk about it because I'm seeing a couple of different things. Oh, okay.
Yep. So, like we were saying, if R. Kelly had a really good defense team, I think that they would probably use this as saying he has, like you said, mental illnesses. He's a sick man, but that does not mean that he will be free. Because even though he had a sickness, a lot of people knew he had a sickness, including himself. And the prosecutors could come out like that and say, well, look, all these people knew he had the sickness. He was asking for the help, but he never got it. What?
Right. And see, they
guys,
and they can use that stuff.
Angie, 1 second. My husband just turned on the news, and he said that the House is to call on Mike Pence to do the 25th Amendment to impeach Trump.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Let me see. Let me check my phone. Okay, I don't have no updates yet, but what?
To re-elect Trump?
Yeah. No. The 25th Amendment is impeachment, right?
Yeah, wait a minute. I don't know about hard. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I think it's impeachment, Mama.
I don't know about hard. Wait a minute.
No, I don't either, but I believe so. I was just saying a little breaking news, guys.
Breaking news!
All right, you need to be in bed. School tomorrow morning. Why are you still up? Get your ass to that bed now. Now.
Yep. In case of the removal of the president of the office of resignation, the vice president should become. Okay, yeah.
What's up, wifey? Sorry about that, guys.
It gives them the ability. Yeah, it gives them the ability to be removed out of office.
Right, that's what it is. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So they're calling on Mike Pence. They're like, yo, stop being a punk. Let's go. So back to what we were saying. It would be a good defense for him, but because it could bring down some of the charges, not the charges, como se dice, some of the years.
Right, right. Yeah, it could. I mean, that could do a lot of things, but he got to agree to it. He just has to agree to it.
Right. if they do give him a plea, he'll probably plead mental illness and probably do time in a mental facility, maybe half time in a regular jail, and then maybe another half of his time in a mental facility.
It won't be necessarily a plea for mental illness. He can go through since the trial, since he hasn't pled yet. I mean, it would have been great for him to have pled sometime last year, because he could have pled for any past, present, and future charges. He could have made a plea on all those different charges, right? And then if anything would have came up, then they could have taken it back put it in front of the court, and then they could have, tried to, get it tacked on or whatever, like that. But now, if he agrees to go to trial, they're going to have to come with a defense now, and the defense can be mental illness, which would be much better. I mean, he could cut down a whole lot of time and do his time at a facility. You know what I'm saying? At a mental. Yeah, but it's it's depending on if you want to do that, because I think he's he's still trying to sing.
I think Greenberg wants him locked up too. I'm sorry. I'm just saying how I see it, and this is my opinion. This is not a fact. Okay? So what I'm saying right now is my opinion and how I feel. I think Greenberg wants to see him in jail too. That's why he's not coming up with good strategies or defenses, and the motions that he's been bringing were all weak. Right. Every last motion this man brought to the judge was weak.
Well, I can tell majority of them were R. Kelly driven motions, because then most of them ain't no attorney in their right mind will waste the time. And as you could tell, in most of them, like, it just didn't make sense. Like, what?
Right. And now it says that in the rest of this article, it says this guy's story. It says that it took years to understand that I was unconsciously an accomplice. What is that? Accomplice? Oh, an accomplice. That I was unconsciously an accomplice. I had masochistic tendencies, and I was far from alone. To this day, I watch as women suffer the same patterns, sincerely yearning for love and attention, yet perpetrating their suffering by giving away their power or through unconscious negative behaviors. Then, when prospective partners or lovers pull back or ghost, they wonder with bafflement why this keeps happening to them. Wow. Of course, I'm speaking in generalities and from my own experience and perspective. These roles and tendencies can be switched, even within the same person or from one person to the next. I'm also in no way placing the blame on women and excusing any of the emotionally or physically violent behavior of men. There is too much of it, and it has to be made conscious and brought to an end. It is up to men and women alike to find these strivings within ourselves, rather than use such knowledge as ammunition. Let me sorry, go back to the article. So how do we grow past these patterns and find real love? There is an old saying that holds true to this day. It is impossible to offer to others what we lack in ourselves. In other words, if you don't love yourself, how can you love someone else? Then it says here, in other words, love is available to you the more that you deepen your honesty and integrity within yourself. Okay. So that was the end of that. Yeah. So you see that men and women
Yeah.
both do it. It's not just about the men.
I see, honey. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Those women go in.
Now this one is talking about the psychology of sadomasochism. And how long have we been on so far, guys? All right, 3 hours. I think I'm gonna end this live in about 20 minutes. So I'm gonna read a little bit off, and then we'll end the live. So let me go back to the article. All right, so here we go. I have to stop sharing it. I have to share again. Okay. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second.
Leave, I'm gonna go back in the chat.
Okay, baby.
All right.
Thank you so much, Angie. I love you.
All right, love you too, baby.
All right, mama. Notification reminder. Wait, cancel. Oh, I'm having an issue. Wait, because it's here. I'm here. Okay, so there we go. Okay. So we know that sadomasochism is taking pleasure and giving pleasure, and that it's something that people have subconsciously in the back of their minds to escape pain. So they'll give each other pain or give people pain to bear with their own pain, to escape whatever they're going through. So it says here that simulation of violence can serve to express and consolidate attachment. It says that indeed sadomasochistic activities are often initiated at the request and for the benefit of the masochist, who directs activities through subtle cues. Consensual sadomasochism should not be confused with acts of sexual aggression. While sadomasochists seek out pain, etc., in the context of love and sex, they do not do so. They do not do so in other situations. And arbor uninvited aggression or abuse as much as the next person. Generally speaking, oh my God, my throat is like killing me. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna see if I can. I forgot it's from here. Inhale. I think it is. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna see if I do it this way. I can do it this way. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do it this way instead. Okay. All right. What are we saying in the chat, guys? Robin said Greenbelly just wants his money and that's all. Exactly. Just like I read in that article the other day in Brooks' chat, his lawyer is lazy and he does everything for clout. Make a kiss. No. Stop. I love you. Sorry about that, guys. My husband's getting ready to go to work. As I was saying, yeah, that he was a clout chaser and a lazy lawyer. Robin said that real talk, what are you talking about? Robin, girls and women jail too. Girl, what are you listen. Okay. As I was saying. Sip, sip, piss, piss. Real talk, real talk. Don't get me upset. Girl. Don't get me upset, okay? Don't do it. Not today. I'm not for you today, okay? We're not gonna do this tonight. I'm having a real conversation. If you would like to join in, please join in with some real dialogue. All right. I love you, baby. Have a good one. Be safe. See you in the morning. All right. So, consensual sadomasochism should not be confused with acts of sexual aggression. Now, while sadomasochists seek out pain, etc., in the context of love and sex, they do not do so in other situations. So, generally speaking, sadomasochists are not psychopaths, and often all the opposite. Sadomasochistic practices are very diverse. One study identified 4 separate clusters: hypermasculinity, infliction and reception of pain, physical restriction, and psychological humiliation. Interestingly, the study found that homosexual males tended more to hypermasculinity, while heterosexual males tended more to humiliation. All right, so Diva Time, when you were talking about that with the men that do that are usually gay, right? So it's saying here, you were right. You know, that a study found that homosexual males tended more to hyper masculinity, while heterosexual males tended more to humiliation. So R. Kelly liked to do a lot of humiliation to the girls, right? And hypermasculinity, what is that? Like being more of a macho, like being a macho man? Is that what that means? Let's see. What's the word again? So a hyper masculinity is exaggeration of male stereotypical behavior. So the psychological term for it is exaggeration of male stereotypical behavior, such as an emphasis on physical strength, aggression, and sexuality. So this term has been used pejoratively by some scholars. So it's an exaggeration. So it's more or less pretending to be a male. I'm trying to understand that definition. So now the origins, sadomasochism, like we said, is a portmanteau of sadism and masochism, terms coined by the 19th century. We already read that, right? All right. All right. In the words of Sade, how delightful are the pleasures of the imagination. In those delectable moments, the whole world is ours. Not a single creature resists us. We devastate the world. We repopulate it with new objects, which, in turn, we immolate. The means to every crime is ours, and we employ them all. We multiply the horror 100-fold. Oops, that's too fast. Sorry, guys. Man is the one who desires. Can you get that? Real talk, real talk. Just to let you know, okay? Man is the one who desires. Man is the one who desires. Women, the one who is desired. The woman is the one who is desired, and the man is the one who desires. So let's get that right. It's not always the women chasing the man. It's the man that chases the woman. This is women's entire but decisive advantage. Through man's passions, nature has given man into women's hands. And the woman who does not know how to make him her subject, her slave, her toy, and how to betray him with a smile in the end is not wise. While the terms sadism and masochism are the 19th century, the realities they correspond to are much older. In his Confessions in 1782, the philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau discusses the sexual pleasure he derived from childhood beatings, adding that after having ventured to say so much, I can shrink from nothing. He certainly did not censor himself. To fall at the feet of an imperious mistress, obey her mandates, or implore pardon, were for me the most exquisite enjoyments. The Kama Sutra, which dates back to 2nd century India, includes an entire chapter devoted to blows and cries. Sexual relations, according to the Hindu text, can be conceived as a kind of combat for successful intercourse. A show of cruelty is essential. Remember in the audio we were listening to earlier, and they said how in India, sex porn and stuff was taboo. It was illegal. Now, early theories. The physician Johann Heinrich Meebaum introduced the first theory of Masochism in his treatise on the use of flogging in medicine and Vernet. According to Meebaum, flogging a man's back warms the semen in the kidneys, which leads to sexual arousal when the warmed up semen flows down into the testicles. Other theories of masochism centered around the warming of the blood or the use of sexual arousal to mitigate physical pain. In Psychopathia Sexualis, 1886, a compendium of sexual case histories and sex crimes. That guy Kraft, Bing, the one that the author that we were talking about before, about the book that I was reading, the little excerpts from his book, he says that did not connect sadism and masochism, understanding them as stemming from different sexual and erotic logics. But in 3 papers on sexual theory in 1905, Freud observed that sadism and masochism are often found in the same individual. So this is how they came up with the sadomasochism, put together in one word. Because the person, the individual, he found that doing these 2 acts are often found in the one person, and accordingly combined the terms. That's how they put them together. So he understood that sadism as a distortion of the aggressive component of the male sensual instinct, and masochism as a form of sadism directed against the self, and a graver aberration than simple sadism. Abrasion than simple sadism. So Freud remarked that the tendency to inflict and receive pain during intercourse is the most common and important of all perversions, and ascribed it as so much else to arrested or disordered psychosexual development. He paid scant attention to sadomasochism in women, either because sadism was thought to occur mostly in men, or because masochism was thought to be the normal and natural inclination of women. So for the men's part, sadism is when they afflict pain. Masochism is, they're saying that the women like to, masochism is when you receive the pain. So the women like to receive the pain, the men like to give the pain, so they made it sadomasochism, one word, because this is an act that is to be done between two people. Now, in studies in the psychological of sex, in 1895, the physician Havelock Ellis argued that there is no clear divide between aspects of sadism and masochism. Moreover, he restricted sadomasochism to the sphere of eroticism, so thereby breaking the historical link with abuse and cruelty. So in 1895, this doctor argued that you can't divide the two, or you can't restrict the one word together. It's more together in eroticism. So it's more of just sexual pleasure. There's no abuse. Then the philosopher Gilles Deleuze begged to differ with Freud and Havelock Ellis. In his essay called Coldness and Cruelty in 1967, he contended that sadomasochism is an artificial term, and that sadism and masochism are in fact separate and distinct phenomena. He provided fresh accounts of sadism and masochism, but unfortunately, I seem unable to make sense of what he wrote. He didn't even understand what the guy wrote, so he just couldn't even explain it. Now, I'm just going to read this last part and then I'm going to cut it. Explanations. The same can be said for sadomasochism in general. Sadomasochism is hard to understand. Perhaps one of those great mysteries of the human condition. Here I propose several interpretations. Each one may hold in some cases and not others, but none are mutually exclusive. Indeed, many of our strongest emotions can be triggered or co-triggered by more than one type of impulse. Like you see how you ladies were in there and you were like, oh, this is too much, or oh, I can deal with that, or no, this triggers me, or Yeah, I could watch this live. This bothers me. No, I would never do that. It can be strong triggers, emotional triggers. I get it. Most obviously, the sadist may derive pleasure from feeling of power, authority, and control, and from the suffering of the masochist. So, in other words, they're saying that R. Kelly, he's a sadist. He's into the sadoism, the sadism. That's him. He's the one that likes to control the authority, the power, the feeling of it. And the girls actually get pleasure from the suffering subconsciously. They don't really know. They were little girls. They were young girls. They didn't know. They don't know. I bet you if he was to say, I'm a sadomasochistic kind of guy, they would have been like, what the fuck is that? What is the Sadahuda mana what? But okay, whatever. Because they loved him. They trusted him. And he betrayed that. He used that. That's what a lot of people are not understanding, is that he used those things to get what he wanted. He did those things to these girls to get what he wanted. And these girls just all did what they were told. Plain and simple. The sadist may also harbor a conscious or unconscious desire to punish the object of sexual attraction, or a stand-in for the object of sexual attraction, or for an original object of sexual attraction. So for having aroused their desire and thereby subjected them, or conversely, for having frustrated their desire or aroused their jealousy. That's why I think he likes to do the whole threesome thing, for the pleasure and to watch these other girls get jealous off of one another. He gets pleasure out of it. Sadism can also be a defense strategy. By objectifying their partner, who is thereby rendered sub or non-human, sadists do not need to handle their partner's emotional baggage and are able to tell themselves that the sex is not all that meaningful. Who was it that I was reading a book? I don't remember whose, but I remember her saying that he that she had said that the sex was not meaningful. That she had a conversation with him like, listen, that he was like, listen, sex is sex and that's what we're here for, sex. I like to have sex and that's just what it is. Don't you like to have sex? I forgot who he was talking to. Oh, man. But he let it be known, like, listen, this is just sex. It doesn't mean anything. It's just sex. A mere act of lust rather than an intimate and pregnant act of love. That's why he made these girls always get abortions. It was just sex. He didn't want none of them to bear his children. He already had his children. Their partner becomes a trophy. Those girls were all trophies. It says that their partners become a trophy, a mere plaything. And while one can own a toy and knock it about, one cannot fall in love with it or be hurt or betrayed by it. Sadism may also represent a kind of displacement activity or scapegoating, in which uncomfortable feelings such as anger and guilt are discharged onto another person. Like Angie and Diva Time was saying. His anger towards women has made him do these things as an act of revenge, scapegoating his feelings of displacement and anger and guilt that he has discharged onto these girls. Now, scapegoating is an ancient and deep-rooted impulse. According to the book of Leviticus, God instructed Moses and Aaron to sacrifice 2 goats every year. The first goat was to be killed and its blood sprinkled upon the ark of the covenant. The high priest was then to lay his hands upon the head of the second goat and confess the sins of the people. Rather than being killed, the second goat was to be released into the wilderness together with its burden of sin, which is why it came to be known as the scapegoat. So that's where the word comes from, scapegoat. It comes from the story of Aaron and Moses. The altar that stands in the sanctuary of every church is a symbolic remnant and reminder of this ritual, with the ultimate object of sacrifice being, of course, Jesus himself. Now, that's crazy that they say about a goat. Because, sometimes when I see images, I've seen images of S&M, they use a goat as a symbol. You know that? They use a goat for a symbol. Now, for the masochists, this time, taking on a role, so the masochist is usually the woman, right? She's the one that usually endures the pain. She takes the pain. So for the masochist this time, taking on a role of subjugation and helplessness can offer a release from stress or the burden of responsibility or guilt. It can also evoke infantile feelings of vulnerability and dependency, which can serve as a proxy for intimacy. In addition, masochists may derive pleasure from earning the approval of the sadist, commanding their full attention and, in a sense, controlling them. So R. Kelly is a sadist. He's into sadism. All right, well, let's see how much more this is. All right, we're almost done. I'm just going to finish the article. Okay. So, for the couple, sadomasochism, because it's a couple thing, remember, sado's the man, masochism's the woman. They put the word together. So, for the couple, sadomasochism can be seen as a means of intensifying normal sexual relations. Pain releases endorphins and other hormones, leaving a mark or memory, testing boundaries, giving form and expression to psychological realities, building trust and intimacy, or simply playing. Now, in a book called Aesthetic Sexuality by Ramona Byrne, by Ramona Byrne, Byrne, goes so far as to argue that S&M practices can be driven by certain aesthetic goals tied to style, pleasure, and identity, and as such can be compared to the creation of art. So some people see it as art. Et tu. And what about you, dear reader? Perhaps you think that this sort of stuff only applies to a small number of deviants. But the truth is that we all harbor sadomasochistic tendencies. For example, many casual, normal behaviors such as infantilizing, tickling, and love biting contain definite traces and elements of sadomasochism. In the words of Terence, I am human and consider nothing human to be alien to me. Sadomasochism can also play out on a more psychological level. In almost every relationship, one partner is more attracted than the other. Characteristically, the more attracted partner is the one who waits. In a Lover's Discourse Fragments in 1977, the philosopher Roland Barthes writes, Am I in love? Yes, since I am waiting. The other one never waits. Sometimes I want to play the part of the one who doesn't wait. I try to busy myself elsewhere to arrive late, but I always lose at this game. Whatever I do, I find myself there, with nothing to do, punctual even ahead of time. The lover's fatal identity is precisely this. I am the one who waits. The likely result of this asymmetry is that the less attached partner, A, grows dominant, while the more attached partner, B, becomes infantilized and submissive in a bid to please, coax, and seduce. Sooner or later, a feels Sooner or later, A feels stifled and takes distance, but if he or she ventures too far, then B may threaten to go cold or give up. This in turn prompts A to flip and for a while to become the more enthusiastic one of the two. But the original dynamic soon reestablishes itself until it is upset again, and so on. Domination and submission are elements of every relationship, and almost, but that does not mean that they are not tedious, sterile, and to echo Freud, immature. Rather than playing at cat and mouse, lovers need to have the confidence and the courage to rise above the game. And not just by getting married, by learning to trust each other. They can dare to see each other as the fully fledged human beings that they truly are. Ends in themselves rather than mere means to an end. True love is about respecting, nurturing, and enabling. But how many people have the capacity and maturity for this kind of love? And of course, it takes two not to tango. And that is the end of that, guys. That was really, truly, truly something eye-opening for me. I hope it was eye-opening enough for y'all. And ladies, I want you guys to please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys, on your way out now. It has been a pleasure. I love you, ladies. Thank you so much for sitting here with me. And I hope we all learned something new. And I will see you guys another day. And Diva, the Divine Light, is out.